Yes, and this is my punchline. Tonight, I'm tempted to touch on a rather sensitive but extremely sad situation. Last week, the country needlessly lost 11 General Service Unit officers in Garissa County after a vehicle they were traveling in hit an improvised explosive device, IED. The terror attack suspected to have been mooted by the Al-Shabaab militia occurred along the Damajale-Harhar Road. Unfortunately, save for a brief message of condolences to the bereaved families, little else has been said on the demise of these young, selfless security officers who perished in the line of duty. Not even calls for accountability on the police service leadership or the Ministry of Interior Affairs and Coordination of National Government. Let me jog your memory. In 2015, Kenya purchased from China security and military hardware worth 7.9 billion shillings. The consignment included tanks and armored vehicles. In February 2016, President Uhuru Kenyatta unveiled a fleet of 30 new armored personnel carriers, APCs, that were to be used by police to combat rising terrorism threats. The carriers were to be deployed to Mandera, Elwak, Liboi, Amuma, Mangai, Basuba, Melimani, Mkoe, Mugumubi, Manga, Barago, Tot, and Arabai in West Pokot. That 11 GSU officers lost their lives is disheartening, despite the heavy investment in specialized vehicles. Last month, 5 security officers were killed and 20 others injured when their armored vehicles were hit by a rocket-propelled grenade in Elwak, Mandera County. Clearly, something needs to be done urgently to facilitate our law enforcers who work under difficult circumstances to keep us secure from local and cross-border threats. Tragically, there seems to be a conspiracy of silence and a rush to wave away such casualties whenever they involve our security officers. The Interior Affairs and Defense Ministries receive huge chunks of annual budgets, but Parliament and the Auditor General are almost helpless in verifying how the allocated billions are utilized. And I can cite a recent example. In March this year, members of Parliament called for investigations into a 3.4 billion shillings expenditure on a 10-kilometer stretch of barbed wire, yes, and chain link fence on the Kenya-Somalia border. The wall was mooted in 2015 to secure the country from attacks by Somali-based Al-Shabaab terrorists. What is my point? Well, when 35-year-old Mariam Kigenda and 4-year-old daughter Amanda Mudeo perished in that fateful ferry incident early this month, Kenyans were relentless in pushing for action from Kenya Ferry Services, Kenya Navy, and other players in the marine sector, and rightly so, until the bodies of the duo were recovered. The entire Kenya Ferry Services board, led by Dan Mwazo, has been shown the door by the president in the latest parastatal board's appointment. I challenge Kenyans, myself included, to push for similar, if not more, accountability of the leadership of the country's security apparatus. For as the good book says, to whom much is given, much will be required. For when it comes to security, sleeping on the job often means loss of lives. And that's my punchline.